Welcome to the show. I am Rashawn McDonald, the host of Money Making Conversations Masterclass, where we encourage people to stop reading other people's success stories and start planning their own. Listen up as I interview entrepreneurs from around the country, talk to celebrities, and ask them how they are running their companies, and speak with nonprofits who are making a difference in their local communities. Now sit back and listen as we unlock the secrets to their success on Money Making Conversations Masterclass.
The interviews and information that this show provides are for everyone. It's time to stop reading other people's success stories and start living your own. I'm here to help you reach your American dream. If you want to be a guest on my show, please visit moneymakingconversations.com and click the Be a Guest button. Submit your information, and the email will come directly to me. Thank you for considering, and thank you for everybody who's participating and wanting to be a guest on Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Today, my guest founded a personal development and leadership development company specializing in real-world business leadership. That's really key right there. And personal accountability, very key right there. His approaches, he helps individuals, organizations, and companies get to the root of their behavior, performance, and areas of improvement to change their overall outlook and become more productive and encouraging and inspiring to themselves. Please welcome to Money Making Conversations Masterclass, Ciccone Prince. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Really good. I'm glad you took time out of your busy schedule, Prince, to come back on my show. That's really amazing, brother, because you are very busy. Talk to me.
Well, I put it on my calendar. I blocked everything else out. I wanted to make sure that I was here to be able to share with you and your audience.
Well, you know, a little background. This is not the first time I've interviewed Ciccone Prince. He submitted the Be a Guest application. That's how he came into my life. I called him, we talked, and his story is about people who stop themselves from being successful. If I'm saying it wrong, please educate my audience on exactly your approach to motivating, not just through words, but through applications with your business model, Prince.
Well, as I mentioned to you earlier, my first book was entitled, Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? And the subtitle was just about finding your true purpose. And I've realized that there are a lot of people that are going through life and they're doing, in fact, what they were told to do, what they thought they should do, stuff even that they picked themselves, but the end result is that they're not fulfilled, they're not happy, and they're not satisfied. And so they find themselves, and really the whole book was based on a quote by Dr. Miles Monroe. And the quote said that the greatest failure in life is to succeed at the wrong assignment. And when I first heard that quote, the first thing that came to my mind was a picture of somebody standing on top of a mountain saying, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the bottom of the picture, there was a caption that said, but you're on the wrong mountain. And so I started to craft my message around that whole concept about oftentimes we find ourselves doing things that are really not fulfilling. In fact, they're really not what we've been called and given to do. And we find ourselves dissatisfied, and we find ourselves in situations where we are not the best version of ourselves. And I believe that dissatisfaction is one of the clues that we are supposed to be doing more than we're doing right now. And so I try to help people to understand that there's more in you than you're putting out. And if you ever come to that conclusion, you will start digging, and you will start putting yourself in situations and around people that are going to help bring out the best in you so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Wow. Here's an example of myself being on the wrong mountain. Because, I went to college, got a degree in mathematics, was at IBM. And I was fantastic at IBM. Okay, I was one of those people who fast-tracked. I worked 3 years undergraduate. So when I came out, IBM hired me. And in my third year, I realized that wasn't the path that I wanted. So I was standing on the wrong mountain. And everybody around me was cheering me. I was working for the Big Blue, African-American young man, straight out of college. They were happy for me. They were cheering for me, but that wasn't my journey. And so, and I resigned, and I'm gonna tell you something. When I resigned, Ciccone, I was in tears.
Okay.
And that was important you hear that, because when you start shifting to reality, it can be very emotional. And that's the fear. And I think the tears were more the fear of unknown. And let's talk about the fear of unknown, because I was able to push through that and resign, but there's a lot of people still trapped in that fear. Talk to us.
Well, in that same book that I wrote, Are You Climbing Your Own Mountain? I believe it's chapter 5, where I actually, said that you have to move your mind to the new mountain first. You have to see yourself there. You have to picture yourself there. You have to actually put yourself in environments that are conducive to where it is you want to go. I used to have my coworkers, they were like, you're making us look bad because you're coming here dressing nice and professional. I said, no. I said, I'm not dressing for where I am. I'm dressing for where I'm going. So I wanted them to understand I'm not locked into just where I am right now. So I had already moved my mind to where I wanted to be, to where I planned on being. And that's what everybody listening like today needs to do. Okay, you see where you are. Any GPS on the planet is going to ask you for two things: where you want to go and where are you now. Now, a lot of people there have their destination. Yeah, I want to go to New York. Okay, if you don't have your locations turned on, it's going to ask you, where are you? And so many people, we are lying to ourselves. Well, I'm right next to New York. No, you're not next to New York. You're in Miami. So let's chart a course. Let's get a path to get you to where you want to be. And so the first thing, in fact, we have to do is figure out where we want to go, but then we have to be honest with where we are so we can see what it is we need to actually get to that location and that destination.
Wow. Prince, when I first talked to you, it was the honest conversation of understanding goals, because a lot of people don't have goals; they have dreams,
right?
And then goals and dreams are two different things, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody can have a dream, but you have to plan a goal, and the goal has to be met with steps of how to achieve it. And when you achieve that goal, what do? You plan another goal, and so that's the discipline that, when speaking to you, I get every time I speak to you. What motivates you, Ciccone, in being the person that you are? Because you didn't start out being a motivational speaker. To my understanding, you was a graphic designer. How did you go from a graphic designer? Because you was on top of that mountain. I'm sure you was on that wrong mountain too. Okay?
Yes, I was. And honestly, as I shared in my previous interview with you, I was at an event with Dr. George Fraser, the Power Networking Conference, back in 2012 in Dallas, Texas. And while I was there, I got called to be a part of a quick pitch business Olympics. And I hung up my cell phone. I was like, what is this? So I grabbed the brochure. I flipped it over. I found out where it was. And I had 3 minutes to present my company to a select panel of judges and the listening audience. And I immediately started rehearsing my elevator speech. And the next morning, it was 9 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning in the Crystal Ballroom. I had a chance to present my company. And while I was on stage, I had an epiphany. And that epiphany was that my words could be used for more than selling a product or service. I could sell people on themselves. And that's when I realized I was on the wrong mountain. But see, I tell people there are 3 things you can learn by being on the wrong mountain. The first thing is you can learn this is not it. It's not what I'm supposed to be. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing, just like you were at IBM. But then even being on the wrong mountain, you can see the right one. And that's what happened to me at the Power Networking Conference. I saw where I was supposed to be. But then the third thing is it doesn't take you that long to get up the new mountain because you have mountain climbing skills. My slogan is, I'm Ciccone Prince of CicconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. Because I honestly believe a lot of people don't understand and realize who they are and what they have. So what motivates me is helping other people. I really want to wind them up and get out of their way. I want them to understand that they have something to offer to the world. And once they buy into that, once they embrace that, once they accept that, I can just step back and grab me some popcorn and watch the show, because I know they're going to go and they're going to set the world afire because they realize that they have something to offer the world. A good speaker will have you talking about them, but a great speaker is going to have you talking about yourself and what it is you're able to do. And my goal is to be a great speaker, because I want to point at people to the point to where they realize, hey, I got to do something. I have something to offer. Somebody's waiting on me. Somebody is starving for what I have, and I'm not going to let them go hungry.
Don't he make you smile? Don't he? If you're driving your car and you're not smiling right now, thinking about what life, thinking about the blessings that's coming through these airwaves. Because, here's the great thing about that mountaintop. See, there are many mountains. See, I told you about my IBM mountain. When I was over there,
right.
Everybody was, Rashad, they said IBM. I'm going to tell you about my next mountain I was on. I done Def Comedy Jam because I left IBM to be a stand-up comic. I did Def Comedy. I did Def Comedy Jam when I did it in 1992. That was the Def Comedy Jam. Bernie Mac, Bill Bellamy, everybody. Everybody done Def Comedy, and I did it. Hosted by Martin Lawrence. Opened a comedy club, and I was selling out in Houston, Texas. And my boy Steve Harvey came through town, and Steve Harvey told me he had an opportunity to get a TV show on ABC, and he wanted to know what I wanted to do for my career. And at that point, I told him I wanted to be a writer, a sitcom writer. And he had never heard that from me. He said, Rashawn, I didn't expect that to come out your mouth. I thought you're so talented as a stand-up, and this club is selling out. He said, but that's not. And I could use your word. That's not the mountaintop I wanted to be on.
Right.
I wanted to write. I wanted to produce television. And that's what I've been doing all my life since I climbed off that mountaintop. I've been producing, writing, and changing the world and changing people's perspective and doing big events my whole life because I was courageous enough to walk away from being cheered, to being autographed, to being selfied, walking on stage to sold out shows every night, to saying that's not the mountaintop I wanted to be on. And that's why your book resonates with me, because a lot of people, they get trapped. And sometimes you stay on that mountain too long, guess what? It can get erode. It can just become old. And people can start passing by, don't even see you on that mountain anymore. Not saying I was afraid of that. I just knew that wasn't for me. And that's why I just want to keep bringing up because we talked about his book prior to the show. I said, we got to talk about this because it hit home with me. And I got to keep telling people it's more than one mountaintop for a lot of y'all out there. It's a lot of them. Don't get stuck on one just because you walked away from another. Am I right when I say that?
Yes, you are. And I remember hearing somebody saying that the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So once you've gotten to the top of one mountain, good, great, fine. Now there's another one. Okay, but you got to come down off of this one, and you got to climb the other one. But see, the thing about it is you have mountain climbing skills. You've already proven it. You've already done something. So that's so good. That's great. That's a part of your resume. So now let's go to the next one. And if you're not doing anything that scares you, your dreams aren't big enough.
Wow. He's here. He's on my show, Money Making Conversations Masterclass, Chaconi Prince. I'm going to tell you something. When you come back, his latest book, Heal, that's Heal, Help, Elevate, and Learn, a guide to healing your inner child. We're going to talk about that. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not motivated to find a better self of you, if you're not motivated to get off that mountaintop that everybody tell you should be on, and you realize you're not happy, it's time to make a change. And hopefully he's poured into you on Money Making Conversation to help you make that change. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Welcome back to the Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by Rashawn McDonald. Money Making Conversations Masterclass continues online at moneymakingconversations.com, and follow Money Making Conversations Masterclass on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
He is founded a personal development and leadership development company specializing in real-world business leadership. He has a new book out. It's called Heal, Help, Elevate, and Learn, a guide to healing your inner child. What do you mean when you say inner child, Chaconi?
Well, like Mr. McDonald, one of the things I've learned is in my motivational speaking, I focus on personal development and leadership development. Because to me, those are two sides of the same coin, because you can't lead others until you learn how to lead yourself. Mm-hmm. Once you learn how to lead yourself, the next logical step is to help lead other people. But I quickly realized that I left out one aspect of our personality that, quite frankly, was overlooked. And to me, that is our inner child. because I've seen so many people have situations where they're in a child will act out. It'll get triggered by some situation, some circumstance, and it'll wind up costing them their job, their relationships. There's a huge fallout. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to raise the awareness that some of your current day behavior could be seeded in childhood wounds and childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. And I wrote the book because, again, I wanted to start the conversation, not end it. I wanted to start the conversation about childhood wounds, childhood trauma, but even more so childhood healing, because I think a lot of people really don't realize that, hey, why I'm acting where I am, it's not just that's how I am. It's not what you do, but why. So why are you like that? Mm-hmm. And so understanding that part of yourself can actually help you to in fact, develop some, coping mechanisms, and you can even get some necessary help if you need it. And I mean, we all of us need help one time or another, and especially in this area. And being a African-American man, there need to be more voices, more male voices, focusing on this area of our mental health. And I'm not talking about illness, but just our health, being healthy, whole, and solid.
In our community, we last to accept, responsibility, especially on the mental health side. I know when I grew up in the neighborhood, man, we saw our cuz, we just said he was whatever, gave a name that we shouldn't be saying in public.
He was
touched or something.
He was touched.
And all these terms, and I realized that, that person needed mental support. But we didn't want to. We didn't understand that. Didn't want to be bothered with that. They come to the family reunion. We let them hang over there by themselves. Don't go over there.
Right.
He gonna say something to you. Don't get him upset. He gonna put his hand in the potato salad, and all that stuff. You just stayed away from these people. And I think that now, I live a stressful life, a very, very stressful life, and I wouldn't share my stress with anybody, Prince, at all. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that. You got to have people to talk to. You got to have people who support you. You got to have mentors. You got to have somebody that you can share, whether it's a loved one, your wife, your girlfriend, your dog, somebody.
Yep.
You got to talk to somebody to heal, because you're not going to heal by yourself. If you heal by yourself, that leads to depression. And depression, once you go there are not many negative things or positive things come out of depression if you stay there, if you know what I mean. So
and that's true. That's true.
So how did you, my friend? You talked about, you was at this event in Dallas, this 3-minute elevator speech, and on stage you realize this is what you do. Listeners are going, I want to be a motivation speaker. I can't tell you, my people have told me they want to be you, Ciccone. I want to do what he do. Can you tell people what you really do, sir? So they can understand the amount of work you put in and the amount of convincing. He didn't have to convince me. I'm telling you something. This brother filled out a Be a Guest form. After talking to him for 5 minutes, I said, he knows what he's talking about. If you listen to him, he's not just motivating. He's telling you things that you should be doing to improve who you are. That's key. I meet so many people, you walk away from, I don't know what they said or what I usually tell them, stop talking to me, please. Because you're not helping me, brother. I can listen to music on the radio and not remember those lyrics, okay? So please tell people what you do, sir, okay?
Well, like I said before, my slogan is I'm Ciccone Prince of CicconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And anybody that wants to be in a motivational speaking arena, they have to have a why. They have to understand what their why is. And not only understand it, they have to be passionate about it. A lot of people are like, okay, well, I don't know what that is. Okay, what is the thing that you would do that you wouldn't even look at your watch? The thing that you would do that you get sad when it's over. It could be making baskets. It could be, helping the elderly. It could be fishing, painting. It could be crunching numbers, and you're just at peace, and you know that this is what you've been called and given to do. Well, that is your passion. That is your why, and that should be the motivating factor behind you. It has to help somebody else, because like Dr. Miles Monroe said, the fruit isn't for the tree. Your gift isn't for you. And even me, a lot of people wouldn't even realize I used to have a stuttering problem when I was a child. And if I get really excited right now, I could probably wind up falling back into that. But I have learned the importance of, okay, Sakona, you have something that somebody else needs. You have somebody that they need to, something that they need to hear. So you have to be able to package it and put it out. And so I started working on it. And I'm telling you, once I found my right mountain, this is my right mountain. Helping people to see themselves in a better light, in a better space, in a better place in life. And it comes across even in my voice, with the passion that I have, because I'm not just telling you something that I'm reading off a piece of paper or a PowerPoint. This is who I am. This is a part of who I am. And if you haven't found your why, I don't care what you get on stage or what stage you get on, you're not going to be effective. You're not going to make a difference. You're not going to make an impact. Nobody else can be you. So your history, your background, your story, all of that is going to distinguish you from the next person. But if you're not passionate about what it is you're doing, you're just going to be somebody up there talking.
Wow. That's why he on my show. My show. He doing more than just talking. I'm going to just tell you something, man. Stuttering. Steve Harvey had a stuttering issue when he was a kid. He'll tell you that. He stuttered.
I heard it.
He stuttered. Stephen A. Smith, dyslexic.
Yep.
Dyslexic. Okay. Two of the biggest talkers, African-American talkers in the world today, overcame issues in their life. You know, I was painfully shy as a kid. Couldn't tell what? Sitting in the back of the room, just a little smart big head boy. That was me. A little smart big head boy. You know, every girl I want to talk to, I never could open my mouth because I was just afraid to say hello. You know. But, you know, I overcame these issues. You know, I have a Southern drawl. That don't stop me from talking. I just got to learn to talk slower, put a few better diction on certain words so everybody can understand what I got to say, because I'm going to have something to say. But more importantly, you, my friend, you are a blessing to me. Hopefully everybody who's listening to the show have taking some stuff away that I always tell people, when you listen to him talk, please have your notepad and your pen ready, because he's going to give you about 4 or 5 phrases that you're going to go, I want to put that on my mirror. They're going to go on my vision board, because that's the type of person we are. As we wrap up this show, man, please tell everybody again how they can get in touch with you, man, because you know you're going to be on my show more again and again. Because I'm going to tell you, man, once a quarter, I'm going to get a little Saucony refill. Saucony Prince back on the show. Purple Rain coming with information. How can they get in touch with you, Prince?
Cool. Well, listen, for those that want to connect with me, you just go to SauconyPrince.com. That's SauconyPrince.com. And you can search me on all social media platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. No, not Snapchat. TikTok. Goodness, I forgot about that.
Hey, brother. You know, Snapchat. Where I never found you on Snapchat. So TikTok. See, sometimes brother's good, but sometimes he needs somebody like me, a brand manager, to come in his life. Keep him focused.
Hey, there you go.
I love it, man. But again, you know, his new book, latest book is Heal, Heal, Help, Elevate, and Learn, a guide to healing your inner child. And more importantly, if you stand on that mountaintop, it might feel good, but is that the right mountaintop for you? I just shared you 2 stories. And one was at IBM, and believe me, I felt fortunate. I felt a tremendous blessing to work for IBM. I still do. That's an experience I share with everybody, because I know it's unique. I knew for an African-American young man coming out of the college that, wow, I was working for the Big Blue. And then to do Def Comedy Jam, share the stage with Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, all these great comedians. And then one day, Steve Harvey come in the club and tell me he's got a sitcom offer to do a show on ABC, and he asked me what I wanted to do. At that moment in my life, I said, I want to write. Those are courageous moves that I made in my life that brought tears every time I did it. But it was not the mountaintop that I wanted to stand on. I'm standing on the right mountaintop every time I come in here and talk to everybody on this radio show on Money Making Conversations Masterclass. And I want to thank you, Prince, for taking the time to come on my show, brother, because you are truly a blessing. I
appreciate you, man. Thank you again. And I want to say to your audience, Find your right mountain.
All right. We talk soon, my brother. We will talk soon.
All right, Doc.
Today, my guest found today, as we say always, that time of the month, you know, the seasonal holiday season, and people gonna be taking out, people gonna be eating food they shouldn't be eating. This has been another episode, another edition of Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by me, Rushion McDonald. Thank you to our guests on the show today, and thank you, our listening audience. Now, if you want to listen to any episodes or want to be a guest on the show, visit moneymakingconversations.com. Our social media handle is Money Making Conversations. Join us next week, and remember to always lead with your gifts. Keep winning. The American dream is available to you. Just keep listening.
This has been another edition of Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by me, Rushion McDonald. Thank you to our guests on the show today, and thank you, our listening audience. Now, if you want to listen to any episode or want to be a guest on the show, visit moneymakingconversations.com. Our social media handle is Money Making Conversations. Join us next week, and remember to always lead with your gifts. Keep winning.